So that, I mean, you was putting the 80.
80.
And it was moving.
And it was moving.
Wow.
For mixed jive.
Unbelievable. So that's I think that'll help people get to understand how y'all was able to run up.
That's the reason why we was able to do what we was doing. Me and Eddie would go through the projects and throw out 30, 40,000 at least twice a week.
30, 40,000.
Out the moon roof, the windows, or whatever. We would have traffic jammed on Woodward.
And what was you telling me? We was talking and you was saying about just kind of how in the glory days, guys might just stand on the corner hoping to see you and Eddie drive.
Yeah, we used to come through the neighborhood at least every day, if not twice a day. And we'd be certain corners where we would turn, like where the Columbia Bar, where all the hoes and prostitutes used to be at. Because back during that time, man, that's where all your hustlers come from, down in the valley, down from the Brewster Projects. And like I say, I haven't never seen this much money in a neighborhood in my life. It'll never happen again. Because back then, it was no vacant lots nowhere in the city. Ever since that crack epidemic came, that's the reason why, you understand, there's so many vacant lots. It didn't happen until them rocks started selling rocks. But I'm telling you, man, it was so much money in Detroit, man. And then we was the only one getting money. We was about the number one. But it was so many niggas down there in that neighborhood getting money. I'm talking about on a daily basis.
So what were some of the other characters from back in that day that you think down there around that Rush, John?
The Godfather. Eddie Seals. Times Square Bob. Willie Lee. Buddy was one of the first persons started selling drugs down there. He was an older guy. They used to call him the little fella. This was in 68, 69. This was before Eddie, But like I say, it's so many guys that was getting money down there. I can't remember all of them, but it was so many of them. You understand? I'm talking about getting money. 50, 60,000 every day. Al Finch, the Gary brothers, Zach.
You were saying, it ain't an exaggeration. Obviously, y'all was getting the most money. But you were saying it probably was, what, $1 million? You think $1 million a day?
It probably was more than that in the run of a day with all the guys that was getting money.
Wow.
I'm talking about it was crazy. But it was the good days, though. And see, when all that old, and then you talking about hustlers, those pimps, they was getting money.
And you were saying the tops, the people, what kind of money?
The runners was getting $2 off a pack.
And how much could a good runner make in a day?
They was making 20, 30,000 a day, a runner.
Wow.
And that's no lie. It was some hell of a guys down there selling stuff, man. TD, Knight, Top Dog, yeah. The whole Robert family. Pat Robb, they was getting money. All of them.
Yeah, they all kind of famous. And so there was a
Butch Harris, Reno, from the projects.
So most of the people from the projects kind of knew.
Strider Bush, Streaky Steve, Red George, Big Nose.
He kind of famous and known around here. When did you and Freaky Steve cross paths?
I've been knowing Steve a long time. When Steve first came home from jail, he went to jail for, I forgot what it was. But when he came out, you understand, I got with him because we was close. And he asked me, what was I doing? I told him, I had some work if you want some, but he had never sold no stuff then. I gave him an ounce of raw. And from that, he went on. And then he started Strata them off. He was the first one that started selling that raw.
That's street history there. Freaky Steve is who started Strata Butch off.
Right. Steve is the first one that started selling raw.
Out of that clay.
That's right. They call themselves the Three the Hard Way.
And so that was
Freaky Steve, Strata, and Red George.
Wow. Three the Hard Way.
Yep. And you can't forget about Dodo.
Okay. And all respect, I believe you said that Dodo's brother, Augie, just passed?
Yeah, Augie just passed a few days ago, you know.
Rest in peace to Hoggy
Yeah.
and Dodo's family.
Yeah,
So,
but
what you know about Dodo? Because Dodo famous, everybody kind of around town.
he was real quiet, man. But he been a businessman all the time. You know, he had a restaurant. His family, you understand, for a long time. But Dodo was real quiet. What he did, you know, he had a lot of connection with the Eastern Market and stuff. You know, he was getting money.
Because he
He
owned.
didn't want to own all that property down in Brush Park down there, you know, until he got killed, you know. Because I had property down there on Brush too. I had a few buildings down there too, on Brush and Winder and stuff, you know.
All what now is the high range district.
That's right. Yep. But like I say, you understand, that neighbor down there was something. I mean, you talking about back in them days, those hoes was the cleanest women and sharpest women you ever seen in your life. I'm talking about it's not like it is now.
Right.
But I'm just saying, though, man, you understand, hey, it's day and night the way the life is now and it was then, you know. But like I say, but there'll never be nobody like Eddie. Eddie was one of a kind, man. You know, he was the type of person, you understand, he didn't tell nobody that somebody worked for him. Hey, don't nobody work for me. We hustle together.
Okay.
You know, and that's the way he was. We was getting so much money that it was unbelievable. We used to go to the Cadillac dealership and buy 10, 15 Cadillacs at once and pay cash for it.
And you've been with Eddie, so you ain't saying what you think. You tell
Well,
me
I'm telling you what I know and what I done did. Me and that man have been all over the world together.
So where's the only place you and Eddie went together?
We done been all through Europe. You understand? Amsterdam, London, Frankfurt. That's over in Germany, but we done been Paris.
Wait a minute. Tell them about what you say one time y'all was over in Europe and y'all, what you say y'all took 50,000 and somehow y'all.
The first day we got there, we took 50,000. It was like I say, we had about 6 or 7 guys that was with us, you know, and so we was already in London at the Hilton in London, and he said, "Man, let's go up in Amsterdam, up there, up in the red light district." So we always game to go, you know. So we went up there. We flew to Amsterdam on Canal Street. This is where you can walk on both sides of the streets in window shopper bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, we must have water right past you. And the next day, we had to send somebody to send some money back to us because, had to find somebody, because we couldn't have the kind of money we wanted to bring to us or the Western
Y'all
Union.
had spent the 50,000
Yeah,
y'all took.
yeah. We
Now
had,
y'all need
cause
some
we had
money.
we had did some shopping and stuff like that. Every time when we stayed in London, we left them with the Paris, and we stopped in Africa. But what happened when we got there, we had got completely broke.
So how would y'all get some more money?
We were sending people back with passports to meet us in the next destination.
So y'all call back to the States, say, hey, meet me, we about to be in.
We left there, we had to meet us in Rio de Janeiro after we left Africa.
So wait a minute, y'all started in Europe, then you went to Africa, and then you go from Africa
to Rio de
to
Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
And when we got in Rio, we didn't have nothing but our jewelry, because everybody else had got homesick. They went home. Me and Eddie kept on going. When we got there, we didn't even have enough money to get a hotel fare. So we gave the guy, we showed them the jewelry, told them the situation and stuff. They took our jewelry, put it in the safe and stuff, and we had someone, you understand, to fly to be there the next day.
Y'all flew somebody from Detroit down to Rio.
Yep. And the next day, we had somebody to bring us another 100,000, because me and him stayed in South America from Rio de Janeiro. We went down to every country in South America, from Rio de Janeiro all the way to the Panama Canal.
So did y'all go through Colombia?
We went through Colombia. We stayed a lot of time in Bogota.
Was the cocaine business already up and going?
Yes, it was, but it wasn't the way it was, in the 80s, but yeah, it was. Yeah, because we went to one of those villas, you understand, where it was processing. We seen the little kids and the women, you understand, smashing the leaves, getting the paste out the leaves. Yeah, we went in there, you know. Yep, like I say, me and him, you understand, we didn't did it, man. And like I say, man, you know, as far as like the way the feds was on us, everywhere we went, they followed us. And what they was trying to get an income tax case, because we were spending so much money. We'll go to a cornfield up in New York. That was a place just like Cousins. We'll go in there and spend 70, 80,000. But everywhere we go, we was tipping the salesman 10,000 or something like that. They wasn't gonna tell no federal agent how much money we was spending. They was covering all that. You know, everywhere we went, they was trying to get a case, but they couldn't ever get in there, man. But Eddie paid his taxes. That's one thing I say about him. He paid his taxes.
What's happening, family? It's your man, Courtney Robert Brown Jr. Here in Dakar, Senegal. Yes, Big Boss is still in West Africa. We're going to be here for a few more days. And we're having an awesome time here, family. So, you know, we're hooking up with the brothers here at the Made in Africa Project. Just had a real positive meeting with the brother who owns a nightclub over here called Dream. He's doing some thing in the film industry, got some studios.
Atlantic Ocean right there.
2021, look forward to be some of Big Boss's first projects coming out of the motherland. So we are very excited about that. So anyway, you know, guys, with all that's been going on this year in 2020, we didn't really get a chance to do the 10-year anniversary that we wanted to do for this project, which is what started the whole thing, the whole reason why there's even a YouTube channel and why there was the award-winning documentary Motown Mafia, and all that came with that, and before all of this, the Kingpin's Kid Radio, and now Eddie Jr.'s channel. But this whole thing began 10 years ago. So this is the 10th anniversary of when this project began, and began with this book, Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid. And so I know a lot, I know a lot of you guys, family, you actually know of me or Eddie Jr. or my old man or Fat Man's Legend, and you know it through YouTube. Some of you may have seen the documentary, which by the way is available at BigBossFilmWorks.com or on Amazon Prime, Tubi TV, or most of your streaming platforms. You can still get the award-winning documentary, Motown Mafia. And it all began with this book. Shout out to Lou Stevens, my partner. You never see much of him because he's usually behind the camera, but he has been the backbone of Big Boss Filmworks since we started this thing, so shout out to you, Brother Lou. But so as I was saying though, if you don't know how, the fact that why me and Eddie have been friends for, you know, all of our lives, Eddie Jr., how his dad and my dad have been friends for all of their lives. The real story on how Eddie Jackson Sr., the Fat Man himself, how he started and built that $1 million empire. You know, we've attempted to unpack it, but if you really want the story, the in-detailed story, you know, give the book a shout. It's also available on Kindle. It's also a history lesson, you know, like in chapter 1, let's just say in the beginning, you know, you get the whole background in chapter 1 of where Detroit was at in the 50s and 60s, the real story with Black Bottom. A feel of what Detroit was like in 1971, where the Detroit Tigers were doing, what the Pistons were doing, what was going on with the race relations in the city. And then the fact that that was the year that would change the course of the Fat Man's organization and everything. That was the year where he met the Gambino crime family. That was also the year where they had the raid on Hubble, which is still, I believe, standing the largest raid in narcotics history in the city of Detroit. So a lot of history, you know, in this book. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Who else? Michelle Moore, the Essence award-winning author, Hood Books, Say You Promise Enterprise, Say You Promise Publishing. Shout out to Michelle. She brought this home. You go, family. I'm not an author, so I put together the manuscript. Michelle Moore brought this project home. Anita Flanagan, the editor, Lou's auntie, you know, again. So shout out 10-year anniversary to the book and all the people who played a part in this thing, and it's just really cool, man. And now, you know, if you'd told us 10 years ago, I might have said, yeah, I'll be in West Africa, but if you said 10 years ago, Courtney, you're gonna have a book road, and then the follow-up book, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you know, not the follow-up to this. Here's the follow-up, Motown Mafia, Big Man on Campus. But then, you know, we did come out with another book called Get Your Mind Right, Get Your Money Right, Getting Off Zero. And just where the idea started, man. People have been telling me my whole life that I lived an interesting life and stuff I had seen. You know, working for my father, just growing up next to Eddie Jackson, seeing their whole rise, fall, and rise again. And now to be over here in Africa expanding, you know, this film work thing and this content creation to the motherland, hooking up with some brothers. It's just a blessing, man. So we look forward. Want to say thank you again, though. If you don't know, not got the full in-depth story. 10-year anniversary, Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid. Check it out. You can get it from our website, BigBossFilmWorks.com. You can definitely get it from Amazon. And if you have not seen the award-winning documentary that followed up on that, you can definitely check that out on Amazon Prime. So, and Tubi TV, again, all the other ones. And the brothers here are taking good care of us in Senegal. So, a good look, good shout out. Oh yeah, and with the 10-year anniversary, shout out to my man Al Prophet, what he's doing with American Dope out there. You know, Al has been very integral and just been a great assistance. We caught up with Al right when the book was coming out, and he's gone on to do some really big things. And yeah, shout out to Al Prophet, shout out to Cavario, shout out to what they're doing over at American Dope. It's all good. So I ain't gonna hold you guys up, but again, Big Boss Filmworks live, Dakar, Senegal, West Africa, 10-year anniversary book, Kingpin's Kid, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, Motown Mafia. Thank you all. Appreciate the support. Love you guys. Holla at you, man.